Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Golia. I'm an actor and singer here in Los Angeles, and I am so excited to be here with internationally acclaimed political artist, Diego Marcial Rios. How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic.
I am so glad you're here with me. Listen, before we get started, I'm going to show everyone some of your pieces.
Fantastic, even better.
Great. Diego, those are absolutely incredible. Can you tell me how you got started?
Believe it or not, I'm sort of what they called me a child prodigy or something like that. I started doing artwork believe it or not, I was illustrating magazines at age 11.
What?
I was a little tiny guy. Well, for whatever reason, I had these gifts, these fabulous art gifts, and they really developed quite early. And I literally, I was working as a mail boy in Berkeley, next to a publishing house, and until some of the publishers noticed that I could really draw really well. So one of them took me aside, and I was a little boy, only 10 or 11. They said, "Hey, can you illustrate this? Do this illustration?" And I did it. Then I did some more illustrations for them. And pretty soon I'm illustrating book covers for them and magazine covers for them. And there I am, 10 years old, 11 years old.
That is so wild.
Yeah. So, and then I went on to go to art school. Of course, I have a bachelor's degree in fine art. I have 2 master's degrees in art education, and I also have a CBL in law. But near here or there, it just sort of took off from that, from the time I was a little boy. And when you look at my resume, it's funny because it dates back to 1973. So that's a long ways back. Yeah,
that is so crazy.
I always knew I was always sort of, and I got branded the artist as a very young boy, and I just been the artist, been certainly pursuing art. But on top of pursuing art, I also pursue social activism. I very much work with individuals who are in and out of the criminal justice system and also formerly homeless. I look towards getting them employment and housing and that sort of stuff. I've always had very much a concern for those who are less fortunate and need a little bit of help. So I not only produce artwork that has a political content to it, I actually work in the community to help individuals who are down and out and struggling. I think that's very important.
Oh my God, it's incredibly important. So when did you start doing that?
My entire life, actually, I started to picket with Cesar Chavez, believe it or not, during the 60s. Again, this is going back to my childhood. Both my parents were political activists in the 60s. So as a little boy, from the time I was literally 3 or 4, I was already marching in picket lines and that whole bit.
Yes.
So I started my social activism as a little boy. We were helping to form the United Farm Workers, and I worked with Cesar Chavez as a little boy. I mean, he used to stay over my house and that sort of stuff. And I started to do the pickets and that sort of stuff. I sort of just started, and I sort of continued my career throughout that. But always working in social services or in some capacity, a job in which I helped out people who were down and out a bit. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So how was the pandemic for you? Did you find that you're able to stay creatively active? And do you have any advice for those that needed to do that?
Well, for some reason, the pandemic didn't affect me one way or the other. The only thing that happened with me is I got a heck of a lot of news press. I mean, I got Los Angeles Times. I can rattle off the newspapers that gave me long interviews because there was nothing else going on.
No, I know, but that's amazing.
Yeah, so the pandemic didn't hurt me in a sense. Also, I sort of didn't like it in a sense as I teach a lot. A lot of my classes went to Zoom, and I prefer to teach them in real life. But if that's not a reality, a lot of my contracts went towards Zoom. Which that, and I don't particularly like teaching through Zoom, but guess what? That's what's safe in 2022. So I got to keep it what's safe. Yeah, totally. It certainly did affect me.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you're very lucky in that way. Do you have any advice for artists going out, like starting out now, and how to keep it as a career?
I'd say it's easier now to make an artist to have a career because of the social media. Literally, when I was a boy, way back, there was no internet. Well, our idea of the internet was a phone book. So literally, when this is literally how I got into major American museums. I literally knocked on the door to the director of the museums with a bunch of my artwork in hand and said, "Here's my work." And they'd buy. I got in the De Young Museum, Fresno Art Museum, Laguna Art Museum. You can rattle them all off. I literally just knocked on the door. You can't do that in 2022.
Yeah.
That's way back. So my advice to any and all artists is, 1, to become very good at your craft. Craftsmanship is very good. 2, if you want to establish exhibition careers, start with what they call juried shows. Get about 22 or 30 of those cataloged. And of course, think internationally, never think locally. If you're going to show as an artist, never show in your area, always show outside of your area and outside of the country. Because of the way the world is right now, it's just becoming a global economy, whether or not you like it or not. And the art world is also going that way as well.
Oh, wow. That's a really interesting take on it. I love that. Because people want to see things from far away. They want to see things, they want to know things outside of their bubble. So that makes sense.
Sure. Absolutely, sir.
Oh my goodness. Well, it was so wonderful to talk to you. I'm so excited to have you here on the FENIX platform. It's going to be a really great way for you to connect with other artists and for people to find you and your work. And I can't wait to see what's next. Do you have anything like coming up that we can look forward to?
Always.
Yeah.
I'm already booking all my speaking engagements for 2022 right now. I have 6 already booked for 2022. Just go on my website, go on diegomarcialrios.com, and it'll bring you right to my website. So I always have a ton of either speaking engagements or art exhibitions heading up. I sort of cut down on the art exhibitions, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, after 500, I can cut down a little.
Yes, you can afford to do that.
Yeah, after a while, that's I think people have heard of me after a while. So I can sort of cut down. Plus the pandemic is coming through, and I'm really not into the handshaking bit right now. Not a good move.
Oh, yeah.
Best bet is go onto my website and send me an email. And other than that, just to let you know, I'm deeply honored to be interviewed by you. You're certainly better looking than me. I should say that for sure.
No.
For sure.
No, but thank you. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so glad to meet you. And I'm gonna put all of your links and everything right underneath here. So anyone watching, you can just go ahead and click the links. That's the new way. Hey, look at that right there. Okay, awesome. It was so great to meet you, Diego.
Fun. Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.